Hello, Valeria. Welcome to my YouTube channel. And the first question, could you introduce yourself, tell my audience who you are, what you do, and where are you from?
Yes, of course. Hi, Marat, and thank you for having me today. My name is Valeria. I am 26 years old and I came from Naples in Italy. I have a bachelor degree in translation and interpretation, and I have a master degree in international relationship.
Okay. Uh, Let me to move on to the next part of our interview about your country and about your culture. And the first question of this country, you are from Italy, right?
Yes.
And what make your country different from other countries?
Okay, what makes Italy different from the other countries? I think that it is the ancient history that it has got, and also its strategic geographical position, as Italy stands in the middle of the Mediterranean basin, and that allows many civilizations from north to south and east to west to come across Italy and to leave some traces that are still visible in this country in our days. So basically, really in different cities, you can see the traces of all these civilizations. So Rome was the capital of this huge Roman Empire. But also you can see traces from the Greek domination, as South Italy was part of the Magna Grecia. And also you can find traces of Arabic community that was in Italy, and also Etrusc and Norman. Really many different communities passed in my states. And that is what probably make Italy different from other countries.
Yeah, I got it. The next question, what does make okay, no. Yeah. Okay, the next question, what is the most beautiful place in your country?
Well, this is very hard to answer because I do believe that Italy is beautiful from north to south in all its 21 regions. But if I have to choose one place, I would probably say Naples, because it's an amazing place, and it's very different from all the other cities. It's next to the sea. It's very famous because the pizza was invented here, and it's full of things to discover, and it's a very unique city in Italy.
Okay.
But I do love many other places, as Lecce, which is a little and tiny city in South Italy. I really love Sicily, which is our island. And I really love Rome, of course, and Venice and Florence. It's all these cities and places are amazing.
Okay. Next question, what do you dislike about your country?
There are many things that we should improve, because it's true that Italy is a really rich country and a really beautiful country, but we are not taking care about it so much. A lot of important cities like Rome are most of the time really dirty, and you find rubbish in the street. Also, Naples has got the same problem, and our archaeological sites and museums are not valorized as they should be, as they are really incredible, but we are not taking care about it so much, and that is what I don't like about my country.
Okay. Who is the Benito Mussolini? What is the Italian opinion about him?
Well, he was politician during the so-called 20 years of fascism that characterized our country since 1922 till the end of the Second World War, so 1945. And he held the power. He was the main important figure in Italy in that period. And actually, he was the politician who brought in Italy the fascist ideology. And so that period was characterized by the racial laws against Hebrew, first of all, but also gypsy people and homosexual people, and also people with disabilities. What do people think about him nowadays? I think that the public opinion is divided between who support him and who disagree with his ideologies, and I can understand why. So I hope that most of Italian people disagree with what he did and what were his thoughts.
Okay, okay, I got it. Italy has a lot of attraction: Colosseum, Tower of Pisa, Pompeii, and much more. Choose one and tell me history of this landmark.
Okay, I will probably choose Pompeii as it is really next to my city. Pompeii, it's nowadays has got the new part and the old part of Pompeii. And of course, the old part, the ancient part of this city is what attracts mostly tourism from all around the world. And why? Well, it stands under the Vesuvio, which is the volcano in Naples. And actually, this volcano is active, but it doesn't erupt so much likely. But in 79 after Christ, so during the Roman Empire, Pompeii was a city or under the Roman Empire. And during that epoch, the people didn't realize that the volcano was a volcano, but they just thought that it was a mountain, a big mountain. So what happened that suddenly during the night of this year, the volcano erupted, and the people didn't escape as they didn't realize how dangerous it was. So most of them just stayed in the city basically during that night and the next year days. Of course, the entire city was just covered by the lava of the volcano, and of course it was a disaster, but from that disaster born something beautiful, because actually nowadays, after 2 centuries, we are capable of see how the people of that city, so the Romans people in Pompeii, they were conducting their life. Archaeologists found out how they used to live, to cook, how was their lifestyle. And so we can see their houses, how they divided the houses in different rooms. Something really that without this disaster we wouldn't, of course, know. And so it's really, really interesting because you can walk in Pompeii streets and it is like you are walking in a city during the Roman Empire. You can see the streets and the images on the walls of the houses. It's really amazing.
Okay, thank you for answer this question, because very interesting, to consume a lot of information from a different country, especially so well known landmark as Pompeii, because I heard about this fact before. Okay, let's jump on the another topic about English, because most of my viewers, the people who learn English. And the first question of this part, our interview, how long have you been learning English?
I have been learning English since I was 12 years old, and that is a very, if I can say it, it's very late, as people from my generation start even before this age, like since the very early age of 6 years old. But I started to study French at the primary school, and so I just studied English later, but I didn't I have never stopped learning this language and studying this language at school.
Okay. Why are you learning English? How did you motivate yourself?
I'm learning English as everybody else, I think, because it is the most spoken word, the most spoken language in the world. And so, of course, it's fundamental if you want to travel and if you want to meet new people and to talk with them without using, of course, their native language, their tongue, their mother tongue. So it is really important to learn this language if you want to discover the world, basically. But I motivate myself also thinking that English can really help you achieve a good job position. And so having an international career, or simply having a different role, a better role in your job.
Okay, interesting. Why is it difficult to learn foreign language?
It is difficult because it's, of course, something completely new and probably very different from your language, and you have to study a lot and make a lot of efforts to learn a new language. So it needs practice and dedication. So it's not that easy.
Okay, okay. How did you personally learn English?
Well, of course, studying at school, so starting from the exercises and the grammar, but we are really lucky nowadays because we can learn and improve our skills just with a click on the internet. We have a huge world that we can discover just sitting in our house. And so I learn English with movies, listening to podcasts and watching to videos on YouTube, of course, and meeting new people and communicating with them in English.
Okay, next question. Is it possible to learn multiple languages at the same time?
I think that it is possible, and that once you start learning a different language, a new language, your brain is more flexible, and it's ready also to learn another idiom. So I think that learning two languages at the same time, of course, it is more difficult and challenging. But I think that it's possible, and it's just a matter of practicing and studying and making efforts every day. But you know, learning a new language is just a matter of studying and practicing. So I think that is it possible.
Okay. How can learners improve their speaking abilities, and how did you do it?
Well, the speaking, it's probably the best part of language, because it allows you to communicate and to use the language with other people. This is a very important question for me, because I always answer myself, how can I improve my knowledge of this language after many years of studies, and probably if I am able to understand, I'm able to speak that language, but I'm not still that good. I'm not good enough in order to say, to define myself. I have, if I that I say I have a good command on that language. So that's why I thought to sign up in an English club, because I think that what really makes you improve your command of a language is practicing it, not just sometimes, but like have regular meetings every week, so that you know that you are going to use that language to practice it in your real life. And so instead of taking private or group lessons, I instead prefer to sign up in an English club, where I knew that I had to just to speak in English in order to communicate with people, and not just making exercises or talking with a teacher. It's like more stimulating for me, as we are many people who are more or less on the same level of English, and that we have got the same aim, as to say, to just speaking the language and practicing.
Mhm. Do you believe that in order to learn foreign language, you need to have innate abilities?
Well, I do think that learning a language is just a matter of willing to learn a new language, so to be motivated enough in order to go out from your comfort zone, from your point of view. You just have to be ready to change your mindset and to be ready to understand a new language and a new culture, of course. So I think that everybody can learn a language if it is motivated enough. So of course, the DNA, it's always important. So there are people that can be more, that for whom it's easier to learn a new language. But basically, if you don't have, if you are not motivated enough, and even if you are very good at learning new languages, but you don't have this motivation, this strong motivation, you are not going anywhere. So I just think that with the right study and motivation and passion and dedication to learning a new language, to improve yourself each day, every day, making exercises and practice, you are going to learn whatever you want to learn.
Okay, okay. Is it possible to learn a foreign language in 6 months?
It depends from the languages, of course, and from where do you start and where do you want to arrive. It's important to consider what is your mother tongue and what is the language that what you want to learn. So if I can make an example, for if you are an Italian speaker and you want to learn Spanish or French, it will be very easy to do it, and with the right effort and practice and exercises, I think that in 6 months can be enough to achieve a good command of these languages. But I think that it is practically impossible, even if you study very hard, to learn Russian or Arabic if you are Italian, in my case, for example, because they are very different, and you have to start from the very beginning, from the alphabet, and you have to learn new phonetic rules, totally different idioms and vocabulary, and you can make a comparison between Russian and Italian in many words, so it will be, of course, harder. So it just depends from the languages.
Okay, okay. You are studying Arabic, right?
Yes,
Okay.
that's right.
How difficult is this language? Which is more difficult, English or Arabic, and why?
Well, Arabic language is really, really complicated, and it's a huge word. You know, there are 22 Arabic countries. So 22 countries which Arabic is the official language of the state. And of course, if you can imagine, there are many dialects, because the Arabic word is spread from Africa to Asia, and it's a really wide area. So of course, people develop different dialects than the Arabic standard that foreign students learn at university. So it's a big challenge learning this language, as once you learned the standard Arabic that allows you to read the newspaper and to understand probably podcasts and the news and television, you are not still able to really talk and understand the informal dialogues among the population. If you just want to talk about the people in the street, it would be very hard to do it if you're standard Arabic. So you really need to pick a country among the 22 and just focus on that dialect. But then it will be very hard to communicate with other people, still Arab, but from other countries. So that is why Arabic is so particular. And of course, it is also why I do think that Arabic is more difficult than English.
Yeah, interesting. Tell me, please, it's interesting to me too. Okay, just tell me there's some words like the weather is outside very beautiful in the Italian and Arabic. If you don't mind.
So the weather outside is very beautiful. So in italiano noi diciamo il tempo è molto bello fuori. And in Arabic we say الطقس حلو جدا برا أو الجو حار الجو حلو برا.
Yeah, very interesting. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, and the last part of our interview, the part where my guest chose the special topic. This is a topic what they have chose, and you choose the topic like a stereotypes. And I would like to ask you, why did you choose this topic?
I choose this topic because it's very mainstream. Like everybody of us has got stereotype, and it's really common to have and to develop stereotypes about the others in the same region or in the same country or in different countries. So it's really funny. It can be really funny. So I think that it is also a good stereotypes can make you reflect about what do we think about the others and what is the reality about them.
Okay. What stereotypes about Italian do you know?
There are many stereotypes about Italian. Probably the most famous one is that we always eat pasta and pizza every day. but also that we probably play mandolino, and that these are like the positive one and the funny one, at least. But on the other side, we are considered to be all part of a mafia association and community. Like everybody of us, it's into something illegal, or that has got something some illegal traffic. So yes, that is like the negative aspect of our stereotype.
Okay. Your biggest stereotype that turned out to be wrong.
Yeah, the biggest stereotype that turns out to be wrong in my personal experience was the one concerning the Muslim religion. As when I started to study this Arabic language, everybody will terrified and scared from Arabic culture in general, and more in particular from the Muslim religion, as it was the period of many terroristic attacks. But then I spent 6 months in Jordan, and I lived with an Arabic family. So I had the possibility to spend some time with them, and to discover also their habits, and also the religious traditions. And what I discovered was that it is nothing to do with violence, but instead they were very tolerating, they were very tolerant and ready to welcome foreigners, and they were really open-minded. So I just discovered that it just hasn't got nothing to do with what we, like most of the people, think about this religion, but on the contrary, it can be really beautiful and welcoming towards other people and religion.
Yeah, I'd like to add that really after the 2001, when the terrorists attacked the towers in the USA, the people around the world changed their mind about Arabic people. Yeah, because I highly recommend to watch some movie about the guy who I don't know how it's called in how it names in English, but in Russian, like just to translate, my name is Khan. Have you watched this movie?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think
Maybe
yes.
maybe it's not like a good translation, because in Russia we have the same name of this work, this movie. Yeah, and this movie, tell about this case that the people who live in USA face a lot of problem with prejudice, a lot of stereotypes, and this is a I will send you. I will pick here some links for the trailer of this movie if people want to. Yeah. This is very great and very, thoughtful, very meaningful movie, and I highly recommend it to watch it. Yeah. The last question of our interview. Why are stereotypes bad? I mean, some of them bad, and how to deal with them?
I honestly think that stereotypes just prevent you to really understand and discover the reality, because sometimes before you truly understand something, if you have got prejudice about something, you are not be keen to know something about that specific subject, because you think that you already know enough about it. But on the contrary, it is just a stereotype. So it will be better to discover something personally. So seeing with your eyes something, trying to understand and to think about it with your own brain, and then probably checking if it was right or if the stereotype was just a stereotype or if there was something true. So I think that that is how we should use stereotype, something that we can laugh about, and so have just fun about it. So it's positive, but we should always have the curiosity to discover if it is true or not.
Okay, I got it. At the end of this video, I would like to ask you, do you have any, any question, or would you like to add something in to the video?
I will just probably suggest all the audience to just be open-minded and ready to discover our cultures, and change also their point of view, because things aren't just what we think they are, but we can also discover something new, something beautiful, and change our minds. That's it.
Yeah. Valeria, thank you for being here. Thank you for your interview. Yeah, it was my pleasure.
Thank you, Mara, to you. It was my pleasure. Thank you. I suggest everybody to follow your channel also.
Thank you. Goodbye.
Okay. Bye.